Equestrian Life in the Palm Beaches is brought to you by Discover the Palm Beaches, the best way to experience Florida. On today's episode of Equestrian Life in the Palm Beaches, it's all about horses, energy, reflection, direction. This is the Herd Foundation, and this right here is Cinnamon, and we're in for a great show.
Let your spirit rise.
The Palm Beaches is the epicenter for the ultimate equestrian life. Our Winter Equestrian Festival is the world's largest and longest running equestrian sports event.
Let your spirit rise.
The National Polo Center in Wellington, one of the world's largest, attracts top athletes and spectators for world-class polo, festive field-side brunches, and non-stop fun in the sun. And that's not all. Equestrian Life in the Palm Beaches will focus on every aspect of the incredible equestrian lifestyle right here in Palm Beach County, from competitions, events, and training to trail riding and equine therapy. When it's winter everywhere else, it's equestrian season right here in the Palm Beaches. So get ready for some horseplay, Palm Beaches style.
Oh, you gotta let your spirit rise.
Equestrian Life in the Palm Beaches is brought to you by Discover the Palm Beaches. Log on to thepalmbeaches.tv to learn more.
My name is Rhonda Fritchell. I'm the co-founder and director of Herd Foundation. We are a program focused on veterans and equine-assisted services. So when Nangi Johnson and I started Herd Foundation, we wanted to really focus on connection and belonging rather than a diagnosis or a label. We wanted to really share all of the benefits and just what happens when you connect with a horse and how much you can learn about yourself. Our program has grown, our veteran population has grown. Today, as we were watching our group, I heard so much laughter, and that's what we wanted to create, that space, that safe space for veterans. The reason why we wanted to call it Herd Foundation is because the horses have taught us how essential being connected is, relying on each other, depending on each other, very much like veterans do in the military. We also made up this acronym of horses, energy, reflection, and direction. And when I think about that, I think about how important that is in our lives, is that connection with the horses, how important energy is that we bring to our relationships, how we reflect on ourselves, and direction. Thank you, Miss. So many things have happened in this arena, and Miss America, I think about one of our veterans that came to us through the domiciliary. He lost his arm in combat in Afghanistan, and he was in a program at the VA called the domiciliary, where veterans that are experiencing mental health issues, substance abuse, and homelessness. He came here for a 5-week program, and he would kind of, with Miss America, sometimes he'd wear his prosthesis, sometimes he wouldn't, sometimes he'd change, but Miss America helped him to find some acceptance, find some compassion for himself. And one day when he was working with Miss America and he was scratching her with his arm that he was wearing, he was practicing with a prosthesis, he started to cry, and he walked down to the end of the arena to be by himself for that moment, and she followed him and stood next to him, and that was a moment of healing for him, and he realized it wasn't about his arm at all. It was about just his experience in combat and everything that he had to see and endure, and she really helped him with that. I always like to say who you are shows up in the arena, and the horses can see that. Horses don't judge, and the most important thing to horses is to feel safe and comfortable and play and food. And so what the horses teach us is how important that safety is. And when we feel safe, so many things can happen.
So this is Fallen Friday. It's part of the veterans groups that meet through Herd Foundation. Went through Freedom Patch 1, which was an 8-week program for veterans. Did that, then I went through Freedom Patch 2, which is more advanced. It's all about grounding and connecting with the horses, kind of learning about yourself. And then it turns into Fallen Friday, which is every Friday we show up. Program never ends, and you just get to go in the arena and do what you've learned, and we still kind of pick up and learn new stuff all the time, but it's all about grounding and connecting with the horse and coming here and just kind of losing whatever's going on in your life, in your head as a veteran. I was sent here through the VA with a few diagnoses. Since I've been here a little bit over a year, I started as a veteran, and then I kind of loved it so much because it worked. It really worked. Changed my life. Now I volunteer. I work with other veterans, helping facilitate through these programs. On Fridays, I get to still be the veteran that comes in and learns and just continue to kind of help myself through these guys. Well, for me, it's this guy. I learned that this program, this type of program, it's an amazing process for veterans. Not enough people know about it. I think more people should have access to it. It's not your average run-of-the-mill program for disabled vets. It's very specific, but it's opened me up a lot more than therapy and anything else that I've ever tried. What is it about horses? I didn't know a thing about horses. I worked with dogs for 32 years. I have a degree in canine science. I was 10 years military working dog handler in the Air Force. I was 20 years U.S. Customs Border Protection on an anti-terrorism, anti-smuggling unit as a drug dog handler. I didn't know anything about horses, and I got referred here. I came here, and that was the question. What is it about horses? And I'm still trying to figure that out, but it's something, I guess, you know, some people say they're mystical, they're magical. Well, there's something. I learned real fast. It's a unique experience. I'm not big on the word experiential, but it is really one of those things that you have to really try it and to understand it. And like I said, I was a dog guy my whole life. I don't even own a dog anymore. This is my new dog. I suggest, I advise, I ask that if you're a veteran and you're going through what I'm going through, and you probably know what I'm talking about, I'll just say it, PTSD, stress, disorder, anxiety. If you can find an equine assisted services program close to you, it's worth giving it a try. Even if you have to drive a little bit, it's an amazing, amazing program. I don't care where it is. You know, this place to me this is my oasis. It's kind of like my paradise. It's beautiful farm, beautiful people, beautiful horses. And I'm not that guy. I'm not that all mushy guy. But I can say if you can find one, seek it out and give it a try. It works. It's an amazing, amazing process. Well, we established our connection. And I think him, like me, never met a camera we didn't like.
Equestrian Life in the Palm Beaches is brought to you by Discover the Palm Beaches, the best way to experience Florida.
Horses just really demand somebody to be present in the moment and centered to be able to connect. You have to be able to find some safety within yourself and let the horse feel safe. They really bring a lot out in people. They bring out how you show up in relationships in your day-to-day life. They show you how you can be different. It's pretty incredible. All right, who's going next?
This is Miss America. This is one of the ones that when I first came to the program that I started really like connecting with and working with a lot, and I call her the queen because she's the mama of the herd. And we got a really strong connection, and you know, she taught me a lot, you know, about the connections and how to work with them and get them to connect with you, and you know, and she kind of had her little stubborn times and things like that, but I just was always patient with her. Like, see, right now, that's something she does when she wants you to stop talking to people and pay attention to her. And when I first came to this program, you know, I was like really, really broken. You know, I had lost a son in 2015, and I was like, you know, always emotional and crying. And I came here and started working with the horses, and the people here is like a family. Everybody's like so loving and supportive, and the horses are really like, you know, supportive, and they teach you a lot about how to engage, you know, with them as well as in life with people. So once I started working with this program, I started getting better and better. It changed my whole life. It's like my moods got better. I felt like purpose, you know, and the horses and the people here make me just feel like full of life, you know. So it's like I'm excited. I never want to miss a moment coming here, you know, to see everybody. It's like if I'm not here, then I miss it, you know. So it's just a program that I would like recommend for anybody who's feeling maybe even lonely in life, or, you know, or like they just need something to fulfill them, is to come here, because it really changes your life. And it's just, everybody's just wonderful here. It's a real family.
I love it here. The herd is like my little farm fam, and I started probably 6-7 years ago now as an intern doing sessions, and I really didn't know what I was doing. I had horse experience, I had mental health experience, but I've never put the two together. And I had the honor of just kind of sitting in and observing sessions and participating when I felt comfortable. And I started facilitating Fallen Fridays with them and some other groups. And so here I am almost 7 years later, and you know, it's like second nature now. It's really fun. I've grown a lot professionally and personally doing this work. And some of my biggest lessons have been, you know, leaving room for somebody to figure out how to connect with the horses, allowing people to find their own style, and listening, really learning how to listen to the participants, to the horses, to my teammates. It's really been a beautiful process. There are a lot of horses here, and there's a lot of people, all kinds of different backgrounds, and I think one of the beautiful things about our program is we make horses accessible to everybody. So that is, I think, really unique. And I think it serves a lot of people, gives people the opportunity to experience something that maybe they wouldn't normally have.
Coming up next, making a connection that changes lives. Equestrian Life in the Palm Beaches is brought to you by Discover the Palm Beaches. Log on to thepalmbeaches.tv to learn more.
When baby horses are born, mamas speak to them and communicate with them with their nose and their tail. It's body language, pressure and release. So if I make a request, can you go over there, and you resist me, my tail can get energetic, but it's always playful.
Okay.
So if I come over and I ask for Cinnamon to connect with me, my energy is coming out through the end of this tail. It sounds ridiculous, but it's, how do I feel? Do I feel exuberant? Or do I feel quiet and more subtle? And that changes all the time.
Here we go, Cinnamon.
So can you see that ignoring you is high play drive?
I see what's going on here.
You see it.
Come on, Cinnamon. Cinnamon. There you go. Cinnamon, come on. There we go. Cinnamon, do a little turnaround thing like we did earlier. There you go. Come on, Cinnamon. She's ignoring me now. We can do this. I believe. See those ears perked up. We're in the middle of a little battle here. Come on, Cinnamon.
How boring would it be if she connected to you right away?
It wouldn't be as rewarding.
Yes.
It would not be as rewarding.
Yes.
Come on, Cinnamon. Come on. Come here. Come on. Come on. Easy, easy. Come on. There we go. Let's don't talk about Cinnamon. We're nice, we're friends. Look at me and Cinnamon.
It's very interesting how just this simple practice teaches us so much into personal skills and even into personal self skills, and how you need to have that connection. And that connection really starts here.
It really, I mean, it's a great lesson in patience. I can't think of the last time I've had to be this patient in anything.
Horses never take it personal.
Okay, you're right.
Could you imagine going one day without taking anything personal?
I would love to, actually. That's actually, that's a good thing to aspire to.
It's a practice.
Yeah.
So now that you're aware of it as a game, see if you could do it for one day.
I feel like you must do it often. You learn a lot
It's
from...
a practice, yes. We're very lucky. I feel very lucky to have this as a job.
Yeah. It's a very peaceful job. I would have thought I would be a lot more nervous with a lot of free-roaming horses around me.
Well, thank you, Mom, for that.
I do. I do appreciate my mom for that. Come on, Cinnamon. Stop, stop, stop. There we go, Cinnamon. It's a good job. Hold on now. That's what I'm talking about. That's 4 for 4 right there, man. I think we did it. I think me and Cinnamon have a real connection here.
Game well played.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the testing, always testing, and they will keep testing just to see if you're still that same person. And of course you're the same person, but who shows up?
Yeah.
Because we're not always feeling the same every day. But the more you build on a relationship, the more that testing will go away.
Yeah.
You have to be in charge.
First and foremost, how did we do? We got to this point here with Cinnamon, me and I. How did we end up here? Was it good? How do you judge what happened here?
I am extremely impressed. You kept it very light and fun and had questions and persevered, and you listened really well. It's when we're learning something new,
Cinnamon,
plant your feet,
Cinnamon.
plant your feet.
Oh, in the middle? Come on, Cinnamon. We were just talking about how great we did. Come on, come on. Here we
Yeah,
go.
and what comes up for the human? We're like, oh, well, she's done, she wants to go, she's tired, she's hungry. This horse is just looking for leadership.
Yeah.
Who is attached to her with that rope?
I know a lot of what you all do here at the Herd Foundation is centered around actually doing what you just did with me with veterans. For you all, I know it's a nonprofit. I know that that's something important to your mission. Why that direction, and how helpful is it to the people that serve our country?
Well, veterans really don't want to be in therapy, and we don't consider what we do as therapy. It's very therapeutic, but we give the human, try to teach the human what the horses can teach us, and it always works.
What do you feel like we learned best from horses? I feel like from Cinnamon today, I learned patience, and I learned also giving space, and also more so listening and learning before acting. What do you feel like are the biggest lessons people walk away from when they learn their horse training?
Wow, there's so much. I think the biggest thing that we learn is there's more to learn.
What do you think is one of the bigger mistakes then? Is it the lack of patience when people walk through here? Because I know that a lot of times we consider ourselves, there's a lot of people that consider themselves really good with animals, and horses feel like a whole new beast to me.
That's true. So I think the advantage we have is that the horses are so beautiful. And once you learn about the horse's way of communication, you learn a lot about yourself. And you can apply what you learn from the horses to your own life.
Yeah.
And that's why it's just always learning, always growing, and it's powerful.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Theo. What great fun.
Yes, this was great. And Cinnamon, I appreciate you too. All right, you're the best.
Taking care of himself.